Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we're going to talk about how an event can be used to further a bad idea, a false idea, even when all of the facts surrounding that event suggest that idea is false. How an event can be used to propagandize something and further an idea that is plainly false, and the event itself shows it. We're going to talk about the desire to wear the white hat. Because of that event out in Texas, more fuel has been added to the fire, and it's furthering the idea that all you need to do is just go buy one, strap it on your hip, and you'll be there. You'll be ready to save the day. You will be John Wayne, Gary Cooper. You'll be the good guy. And you'll get to be the hero. You will be the good guy with a gun. I had already noticed that this was going on, that people were using this incident out there to further this idea. When one of y'all tagged me in a thread on Twitter, and this goes to prove that I do actually read it when y'all do that. There's a quote in it that almost gave me an aneurysm. It's a myth that training is required to use a gun effectively. Little old grandmas can pick up a gun, point and pull the trigger effectively and safely. More training can and does help, sure, but not necessary for safe and effective usage. I humbly beg to disagree. This idea is incredibly dangerous. Incredibly dangerous. More importantly, it's the complete opposite of what happened. I would like to point to the Attorney General of Texas, his description of the hero, the guy that stopped it. He was a reserve deputy and had significant training, had his own shooting range, had taught other people how to shoot, had taught many people in this church how to be prepared. He wasn't just some old dude that happened to be on scene. He was part of their security team. This church had a security team. They planned, they trained, they rehearsed, they knew what they were going to do, and it paid off and it saved lives. There's no doubt of that. But even with that, I'd like to point out that only one person actually engaged. We've all seen the photos. A whole bunch of people that were armed. One person engaged. This has been proven time and time again. That's what's going to happen. Because most people, no matter how good the training is, most people aren't killers. They're going to wait. They're going to hesitate. One person didn't, and he fired one shot. And yeah, he wore the white hat. He saved the day with a one shot. Without training, do you think he could have done it with one shot? Well, he could have used more. Sometimes one shot is all you got. The idea that you don't need to train is dangerous. Incredibly dangerous. More importantly, to the memes, I want to point to what the hero himself had to say about it. He said, "The events put me in a position that I would hope no one would have to be in. But evil exists. And I had to take out." He had to. Doesn't want anybody to be in that situation. This isn't somebody who sat around fantasizing about wearing the white hat, being the good guy with a gun. This is somebody who took responsibility for their own safety and the safety of their religious institution. Trained, developed a plan, and when the time came was able to put it into action, and it saved lives. Yeah, that'll work a lot. A lot of the time, that's gonna pay off. It won't always, but a lot of the time it will. Enough to invest in doing it. You know what doesn't pay off? Having a bunch of people who bought one and carry it and don't train and don't have a plan. That's not going to help anybody. The debate in this country about whether or not people should be armed, about whether or not civilians should have access, when the idea is that the object itself is the solution, it's wrong. Just like every person who supports the Second Amendment will tell you it's an object, it doesn't do anything by itself. That's true on both sides. If you're going to purchase a firearm, you must train. There's no other way to do it. None. Just purchasing it and having it around, it's going to be used to hurt you, you're going to get yourself hurt, or you're going to do nothing and feel bad because you had the means at hand and didn't act, because you didn't train. People with training hesitate. If you don't have training, the odds are you are not part of that 4%. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.